Hello and welcome. We've got some news today. I'm just going to get right into it. Who are you and what do you have to announce today?
I am Forrest Gibson, one of the co-founders of PlutoVR, and today we're announcing that we're launching PlutoSphere, our PC VR gaming service, on SideQuest for early access.
What do I need to have a PC VR experience on Quest in this way?
You need to have SideQuest set up, so there's definitely some hurdles to go through there. You just need a Quest or Quest 2. You need a pretty good internet connection, so you need to have at least a 50 megabit connection. You're going to want to have pretty good Wi-Fi, so either Wi-Fi 6 or making sure you're using 5 gigahertz connection. And then you can just go to SideQuest and get the app and then sign up for a PlutoSphere account. For early access, we're offering a small amount of kind of free tokens because it's a token-based service. And you'll be able to try out the service for free. And then if you want to keep playing more, you can just buy some more tokens and get some more usage.
The price of tokens might change. What are you launching at and what might it be in the future?
Right now, we have a range of prices, both getting cheaper as you get more tokens, and we're offering some discounts at early access. Really, the service ranges from about $1 to $2 an hour is what we're aiming towards.
Well, a lot of people are familiar with a virtual desktop for getting their content from a PC that they own or have access to and getting it to their Quest. How does this differ for those people that are watching that don't understand the basics of VR? How does this work?
What we're building towards is a distributed VRPC system. So virtual desktop is a client that connects to a PC. We're providing the cloud or edge computer that then you can connect to on the client. The interesting thing is you can actually use virtual desktop with PlutoSphere. We've actually found a good number of our early testers who like virtual desktop and keep using that for their cloud machine.
The key question here on everyone's mind is going to be latency. Walk me through your infrastructure and how you make that not a vomit comet.
Yeah. We're currently working primarily with AWS, and so we're able to go and find a server that's as close to you as possible. And then with our native client, we're actually leveraging NVIDIA's Cloud XR technology to be able to get the lowest possible latency to you. So it's not that it's just sending the video frames from the cloud computer, but it's also doing things on the local client to make the experience even better with things like reprojection.
When you say 50 megabits per second, there's a certain number of our viewers who probably stopped watching the video at that point when they can't meet that requirement. But what happens if you go under that requirement? What are the bottlenecks to making this a great experience?
So there's definitely some proximity. So there are Amazon data centers around the world, and we're working with other additional providers to get even more coverage around the world. But really, we found that local Wi-Fi is actually what makes the biggest difference. So if you have a Wi-Fi router that's 3 rooms down the house in a corner somewhere, you might not get the best experience. But if you have a router that's close to you and making sure that you're using 5 gigahertz, we've actually found really great connections and experiences there.
Do you have a suspicion of what your top 5 games are going to be that people are going to use with this system?
We're really excited to learn what people want to do with it. In our early testers, VR chat's near the top. And what's actually really interesting is even though VR chat is native for Quest, there's really a different experience to be on the VR chat version of the Quest client versus the PC client. You kind of feel like you're a second-class citizen because you get lower quality avatars, you don't have access to the same worlds. And so surprisingly, we've actually seen a lot of people really like that. And obviously, Half-Life Alyx and Boneworks are other examples.
Yeah, those were the ones in my mind. What about Flight Simulator? Is that going to be possible with this?
We've done some early testing. It's still sort of mixed in terms of some of the requirements for Flight Simulator to work, but we're working on that and believe that's something that'll happen soon.
If people have set up a VR chat account on something like a Quest and they've encountered some of those things, basically all they do is they use SideQuest to install PlutoSphere, get tokens, or try the service for free with a limited amount of time, right? And then log into the PC client of VRChat and access a whole lot more content. I think that's a really interesting avenue. I'm curious if a lot of people adopt that way.
Yeah, one thing we've seen, especially since we understand that cloud computing is still kind of expensive and that there's definitely costs associated with running the service, and we're trying to make it as cheap as possible to start. But being able to go to VR chat and even spend a couple hours in that upgraded experience, right? If you want to go to a really awesome party where you want to have an avatar that's more expressive, or even be able to see other people's really great avatars and all the work they put into it, this gives you the chance to get that taste without having to go and buy a PC or even sign up for a subscription service.
I'll have a link down to the listing of SideQuest for this app down in our description after this video posts live. And of course, read our article on UploadVR.com. Thank you so much for the time today. That was Forrest Gibson, co-founder of PlutoVR. And PlutoSphere is available now for you to test on SideQuest.